We normally start off like this, right?
Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo.
Wait, what the fuck?
You just gonna. All right, what's good, people? It's the Pride of the East Side, DJ MH Tutter.
Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo, baby, yo. It's Radio Rahima.
It's your boy, wow, man. How y'all feeling? Neighborhood, what's cracking?
This is Bar for Bar, where we talk about hip hop culture and more. Radio Rahima, I thought you was about to spit some bars on God.
Oh,
You ready?
No, I'm not
You
ready
ready?
this week.
Sign that contract, fam. Sign that contract.
Not ready. I don't freestyle for free.
No.
Oh,
Ah,
why not?
You sound like Gucci Man with that one now. Oh,
I
God.
don't freestyle for free.
You sure? Because I feel like you got some bars that the people deserve. Like, you might as well.
Not today. I ain't practiced. My throat a little messed up.
What's been going on, though? Y'all ain't seen y'all in a minute. Like, you know what I mean? On some for real shit, though. Like, we ain't been here.
I had surgery, so I've been out.
You went and got that lipo and that.
You know.
You better go get snidashed.
No, but I had some fibroid tumors taken out. So, you know, if y'all didn't know, a lot of Black and brown women are affected by fibroid tumors. So those little masses that show up on your uterus, it can cause a hell of a lot of problems, but we won't get into that. But I'm on my 6 weeks and shit, we out here.
Wait.
Hey, normally when women talk about being on their 6 weeks, after they 6 weeks, that means it's showtime after they being pregnant.
Uh-oh.
Well, you know what? I got an
I'm just
incision
saying.
like a C-section. So that's why I took the 6 weeks.
Oh.
That's interesting that you did say something about that, because I just happened, I wasn't watching television, but I just happened to be like going through and I was watching that show that Eve was on. She ain't on there no more, I just found out. But
Channel 2?
yeah, her.
For real?
Yeah.
No, it's not the real.
It's the talk or something.
Yeah.
Something. They do something. It's, the women got the TV right now in the
Facts.
daytime. So I was watching it, and she was talking about she went through the same procedure, and it was interesting that you just said, because she was like, women need to find out about it, because she always thought about that you're supposed to have painful periods. Is that something that y'all went through? Or?
Yeah. But
So
then you got
supposed
doctors
to be
that don't
painful?
really which is always something that kind of pissed the average Black woman off. You got these fucking commercials with bitches running through fields of flowers and shit on their period. Like, that shit is not happy. What the fuck? What's going on with these motherfuckers? But then we found out that based on our race, we have two different experiences when it comes to that shit. So, we just got to overcome these doctors that ignore Black women. And if y'all don't know y'all history on that, please go and research.
Yeah.
Black Mafia, the Black Holocaust. We'll let y'all know.
Did y'all ever see this interview on the Breakfast Club about Kill the Pill?
Yes, I'm all for that shit.
No, I haven't saw the interview, but I agree with that 100% anyway.
I'm all for that shit.
A lot. What they were saying that a lot of times, women, especially Black women, have problems with thyroids and fibroids and all that stuff is because birth control. Birth control and being on birth control for a long time, it tearing your insides up. So, like, from what they said on this interview, and two of them were doctors, one of them wasn't. Okay. She's more like a nutritionist or something like that. But the two males were doctors, and they were saying that a lot of women, your period is supposed to be only like 2 to 3 days or something like that, not 7 or 10. Like,
damn,
it's abnormal when you're dealing with stuff like that. And what they tend to do to you when you have longer periods or something like that is they try to put you on some type of medicine to quote unquote regulate
it pretty much. Damn.
Yeah, man. It was a real. I forget the doctor's name, so don't kill me for that part. But it's an interview. It's 3 people. It's 2 doctors. They have them on there. They had them on there quite often. One of them one of the interviews they was talking about different stuff like men who go through hair loss, such as myself. How what plays a part in that is diet.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, and you know, I've always felt since my 20s, even though I lived a reckless life
You was
in
outside?
my 20s.
You was outside?
You know, with the alcohol and, you know, not sleeping. And so I'm not going to say that I've always or, you know, been so conscious about my body and health, but I've always felt like birth control pills interrupt the natural flow of your body. Like a lot of women be excited because they don't get a period. Like, damn, I didn't know people needed to fuck that much. But, you know, a lot of women get excited because they don't have a period. Like, yeah, sometimes it can be an inconvenience, but this is what your body is supposed to do naturally.
Right.
And when it stopped that, that's why you have, well, that's why around the 2000s, we started seeing so many females puff up around the waist and all that water weight. And it turned into fat. And, you know, now we got a bunch of women now that's trying to get that snatch back because a lot of shit that they put in their bodies, man.
The snatch back?
Get the snatch.
Now, okay.
Is that, did I say it right? They're trying to get the snatch back.
I'm gonna throw this out here. Like, and it's just from, like, herbalists that I've followed and studied, and I actually been told that you don't supposed to have one at all, really. And if it is, like you say, a period, it's supposed to be like 1 to 2 days. It's because if you really putting the healthy stuff into your body, which a lot of us not, we already know that it's really releasing the toxins is what's coming out your body during this period of time or whatnot. If you don't have any toxins in you, it really only supposed to be like the 1 to 2 days if it does happen. This is just from research that I've done, but it's crazy because, again, I didn't know all of this. So us as black men, you know, we not up on, like, we don't go to the doctor with our women. So I think that's another thing that needs to happen. We got to show up. Like, it's a lot of shit we need to be doing in general. Like, because it's a support thing, right? Like, if they in there telling her something that he figured, or she figured, look, she just gonna run with it. And she ain't asking all the questions. You know, sometimes you know, us like, hey, what the fuck you mean by? Hey, what you mean by that though? Like, he'd be like, no, break that down in layman's terms. Don't hit me with all them big ass words, cause like, the fuck does that mean? Like, yeah, this is gonna go happen that way, and you understand? And that's half of them don't even say, do you understand? It's like, all right, come on, man. So I gave you this, and I gave, what the fuck I need that for? For real.
And then the side effects of them drugs.
Yeah.
There's a motherfucker. The shit that I've been reading about, I be like, damn, wait, so you telling me my ass gonna run, I ain't gonna be able to get no hard on, and all I had was heartburn, my nigga? Like, what the fuck?
Well,
Like,
a lot of women were told this is just some things that women go through.
That's another thing she was saying. Yeah.
And it's like, so I think, I can't remember, or I won't go into detail, but like in my 20s, you know what? I had an ectopic pregnancy, which is also stemmed from having tumors removed, or, you know, birth control, all that stuff, or abortion.
What the hell that mean?
Ectopic pregnancy, basically the egg gets stuck in the tube,
Okay.
but it's still a pregnancy. And if it ruptures, it can cause you to die, bleeding, all that stuff. And for a month, I knew my body was different, but the doctor wouldn't listen to me. Of course, we did the pregnancy test. It didn't, you know, it was negative. I'm like, do the blood test. He would not do the blood test for shit. And his thing was, sometimes women just go through this.
What?
And at that time, I was like in my early 30s, and I'm like,
so you could have possibly died.
And he's like, yeah, sometimes women just
What's
go
his
through
name?
this.
Let's go see, bro.
Which is why I try to stay away from, most importantly, not sounding racist, white male doctors. I stay away from male doctors anyway because I've always had a bad experience with what I call textbook doctors. Like they can read front to back on, you know, your innards, but they don't really know what it's like to have a vagina and the workings of it. So I'm not saying that all male doctors are, you know, kind of textbook doctors, but the ones that I've run into. So I stay away from male doctors, and then to add the factor on that they're white. If you've seen reports, if you've seen, you know, these government things that they've talked about how these doctors are taught that us as Black women don't feel pain the same way. And this is some shit that comes from slavery.
Yes,
like, you know, they're taught this stuff. So I'm afraid of white male doctors. Gynecologists, to say that, to say the least. So it's a scary world out there when it comes to our reproductive system and our lives overall. When it comes to it, more Black women die in childbirth than any other woman.
Facts.
So
It's all facts. So we got some hot topics we gonna
Woo,
talk
that
about
was a hot one. Now I felt the energy, man. That Joe, like.
Facts.
But yeah. Today this is a different Bob for Bob because it's still Bob for Bob, right? But we're gonna talk about these hot topics, man. So what we coming up with first, man?
You know what? I think that this is really an episode about Black women. Let's just put it out there.
Damn.
If from the topics that we have, it's really an episode about Black women.
Damn, and not consciously doing that
Nah,
until you just said
You
that.
just said it, yeah. You got a point.
You're right. So with that being said, what's the first topic? What's the first one we going over, man? And that's been making noise. What you got pulled up there? What we talking about? The True Kitchen?
So I wasn't able to get the video, but yes, the True Kitchen is the first conversation.
All right. So now we talked about it all on at Smashcast Radio. Shout out to everybody who was tuned in. We talked about that Thursday night. But what happened in Dallas, Texas, in a restaurant called True Kitchen, it was an incident that happened. You got a video? What you can pull up for us? I want y'all.
I look.
I want y'all to see what's going down. Let's see. Is it on there? Can you pull that one up? But yeah, so in this restaurant, with music being played, it's a nice little vibe from what we're seeing on the video, and for what we found out that the owner came out and he wasn't feeling the activity that was
several
going
times.
on. Well, yeah, allegedly. We only saw it the one time, but they're saying allegedly he came out numerous times and asked the women that were there about their dancing, the so-called twerking dance is what we would call it. If you see the video, you'll see some of the actions of the ladies actually doing some of the twerking. So when he came out, he discussed that why he opened up the restaurant. And that he didn't want the twerking going on in there, and he said it in a manner that was.
So it sounded like he started off professional, like, "Hey, this is a business." He's like, "I want it to be a nice place for Black people to come and enjoy themselves, have a good time." And then he just went to, "Y'all can get the fuck out." It just.
He was out there, right?
Yeah. So he started out nice and firm, and then he just started cursing everybody out in the restaurant, and it just, to me, all that extra shit was unnecessary.
Now, and he said some things that was actually kind of, the way he said it. I'm gonna say this, and this is just me. I'm gonna throw it out there. Because we don't know what it is to open a business first and foremost, like that, a brick and mortar business. But I've been through. I said in Smashcast Radio, I do actually know because I've been through the rigor mortis of trying to open up a barbershop at the time, and I saw the paperwork and the shit that I had to go through, never owning a business before, and actually going through the stuff that I had to go through to get licensing and all this stuff. We don't know what that man had to go through to open that type of restaurant down there, and the stress that he had probably trying to open it up. And for him, probably, because if he came out those numerous times, him coming out there and them not, because also him not feeling respected as him asking, please don't do it. Because one part of the video that I did notice was after he said this, one of the ladies like, but give me the manager then. He said, you talking to the fucking owner. Like, so they probably didn't even know they probably thought he was a waiter or something. I don't know. And it probably, that even more offended them. Like, look, motherfucker, I done told y'all numerous times, stop with the goddamn twerking out here, Joe. Like, so, but again, on the business-wise,
so I am one person, and yes, I talk a lot of shit. I dance, I shout, I do all type of crazy shit. And the one thing that I'm always stern on in certain situations is professionalism. And unfortunately, I feel like that is lost upon our Black people when it comes to dealing with each other. Okay? So I really wish he was able to articulate his thought the same way he was able to do it in the interview with TMZ. So he talked to those two men, and he was able to talk to them without cursing, without, speaking properly and all that shit. That's the one thing I have an issue with. And it's like, would he have done that if it was a bunch of men and he was by himself?
He did, though. I think he did go to them professional at first, though.
At first, but this is what I'm saying. If they continue to be a problem, get your security or call the police. You never, in my opinion,
which makes it more of a problem. Though.
Right, but in my opinion,
you call the police in this environment right now. You call the police on more black people.
But in my opinion, these people should never see you outside of your professional element.
And I agree with that.
Because now you have this one group, or maybe a couple groups on this wall. But I just got cursed out as a quiet patron. Maybe with my child, we all just got cursed out because now he's standing here cursing at this corner here instead of saying, "Hey, you know what?" It was
a whole establishment though, because it wasn't just one particular table. It was a couple of tables that was twerking and dancing. But I feel what you're saying. Like the whole restaurant got scolded for the actions of a couple. But sometimes, like let's put it in a smaller context, right? Like let's say the classroom. We at school, we trying to learn, and there's two people back there steady throwing stuff and clowning and whatever the case may be, or shit, it's 5, wilding out in a classroom full of 20, and it's the sub. You remember how that be? The sub in there, some cats losing their damn mind, and so the principal or security guard come in there and curse everybody out, or it's even like, or it's like your mama, one in trouble, all in trouble. Like,
but that's
my mama used to whoop all that.
No, that's because one motherfucker ain't finna tell who did it. Now we all gotta suffer, and ain't nobody snitching.
No snitching.
Ain't nobody snitching.
That's true. That's true.
So y'all all catch it.
But what I'm saying,
but she also laid my mama laid the lick down. One get in trouble, all get in trouble too.
So what I'm getting at though is sometimes everybody got to hear it, even though it might not be addressed directly to you. And if it wasn't you. If it don't fly, the saying, if it don't apply, let it fly, bro. Come on, man. So if it don't apply, let it fly. Like, don't take offense, but to the ones who know, I've told you to chill, and you keep doing it. Like, what you doing?
But you still just don't curse out. You don't stand right in the middle of the restaurant and curse out the entire restaurant.
Business-wise, you're correct.
So
human-wise, and this is how I me myself equates it. Business-wise, 100% correct, because this is your business. You got to keep that level of professionalism regardless of the situation, because at the end of the day, it can affect your dollar. And you're not in business just to be in business. You're in business at the end of the day to make a dollar, right? Now, human-wise, we have emotions. And we know that we have emotions, and being able to control those emotions is what you have to do in a business setting, because again, it's like that button kept getting pressed. We know it. As humans, look, Joe, stop.
Let me tell you something.
Stop.
I worked in Verizon in a racist town and pregnant, and my buttons got pressed every fucking day.
Okay.
But I would not allow that to cause me to lose my job or business. So I was a technician, but we also had to sell and all of that other shit.
Right.
So I know that if the dude would have walked up and called me a colored girl like he did, and I would have cursed him out, I would have lost my job. So now I can't pay my bills, which I ain't stay on that job for too much longer anyway. But if I stayed there, I had to still be professional. That's my whole thing. And that is when professional me and street me, two totally different people. I walk through the door to work. I know y'all hear my professional voice when I'm not on this motherfucker. Nobody at work hears me talk like this. Like, I wholeheartedly believe in a professionalism. As long as you don't put your hands on me, there's nothing you can do to me to get me out of my body at work. Like,
I feel you.
Nothing.
And that's some people. And some people just, some people. And that's what I say. I agree, and I feel both ways, to be honest with you, because as a human, I'm like, damn, bro, like, especially when I put my all into this, like, he like, nigga, y'all don't know what I went through.
But
'Cause
let's talk about the patrons though,
Uh-huh.
because like he getting a lot of flack for the way he did carry himself. Like it's a certain way that you should act when you go to a restaurant and sit down
doubt.
and eat.
They was wrong.
and it's a restaurant.
And it's a
at
restaurant.
that.
It ain't-
This
yeah.
ain't no,
It
and like
ain't-
he like,
it ain't
so
a
he
gay
said y'all
party.
go to Pram. I'm guessing Pram must be a white restaurant down there. So is that? I would like to look
I
that
don't
up to find out because it's like, is he saying y'all do this in my establishment, but y'all ain't gonna do it over here to
Right.
them?
Right.
Like he felt a certain type of way. It
Well,
felt like if
and he said it was also a health issue because I guess the tables that they were leaning on were glass. So if something were to happen, then you know,
liable
he liable for all that shit.
So it's well, I don't, you know, at the way that the laws are going at this day and age, the fact that he has it recorded and he already told them to chill, I don't think he would have been held liable for it. So that's just like the guy who was on the subway and the girls kept fucking with him. They was bullying him, and he
slapped the
fucking
shit out
pimp
of-
smack. I don't know if y'all know how that turned out, but they actually ruled in his favor, and they
he went to
went to
jail?
charge the girl. No. Of course, you know, because he's a man, they, you know, but when it all settled, it actually ruled in his favor, and they charged the other people who was fucking with him.
Right.
So he came out on top.
Okay.
So it's like now things are starting to shift a little bit. So I'm thinking if something would have happened, it's recorded, he would have been okay.
Okay.
But it's like I say, the way that he was able to articulate, you know, talking to the fellas at TMZ, I feel like he should have been able to articulate, yes, those heifers was wrong. I'm not gonna skimp on that. Them bitches was wrong. They shouldn't have been doing that shit, especially in a restaurant.
But also now with the TMZ, this is days later.
He calmed down. He got a chance
He
to
able to think more. Like
Mhm.
in the heat of the moment, the heat of the passion. Again, this is what happens at times. Like, I mean, you know, human, like, he's a human.
And he could have been having a rough day already.
He just opened up. Again, we
Hey,
don't know
so-
what
so
he's
None
shit
of that
acted-
factors, because at the end of the day, you can still.
True
But
that.
at the end of the day, you can still lose money. That's what this shit is
Yeah,
all about. You
yeah.
can still lose money.
Yeah.
That's why I say people are gonna be people. And I learned a long time ago when I started working at H&M downtown Chicago, Christmas season. Those are some of the most like, god damn, let me just hit you in the back of the Achilles heel with a motherfucking axe. Like, those are some of the most shittiest people to
Next
deal
topic.
with.
Next topic.
I'm just saying, those are some of the most shittiest people to deal with, and they treat you as if you're beneath them. You know what I mean?
And H&M, ain't that a discount store?
No.
H&M?
I mean, they have
Reasonable price.
reasonable prices,
Reasonable price,
but if you
bro.
go into the men's section, there ain't no fucking discount.
Okay, I'm asking.
And you
Then
better
you
be
work at a lot
European
of places.
size.
You should say H&M, Verizon.
I'm just saying, I've dealt
Taco
with
Bell.
customers a lot, and I ain't working no fucking restaurants. I'm just saying, I've worked a lot with the public, and the public, you know, they don't see, even though he is a business owner, they don't see him as this big, you know, oh, he's someone they see him as a service worker. You know what I mean? But that's the way the public is. The key is to not let them see you get off your square.
I agree.
But that's just always been me, though. And I also understand when it comes to the human emotion. I'm not saying homie is super wrong for that. Them bitches was wrong. He wasn't. But at the end of the day, you got to maintain that professionalism. That's all I
I
say.
can agree with that.
I agree. What are they saying anything? We got people who comment.
They ain't commenting on it because they know what we say is fucking law. And if you disagree out there,
Damn, bro.
No, I'm kidding.
He just came and y'all like, hey, shout out to all the people that's at my party, watching my laugh party.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in.
I don't want no smoke, John. Like, but all right, so what's the next topic we want to talk about, man? What we got next?
We had the restaurant, the video of the gentleman belittling the woman with the business.
Do we have that video? Can we put that one up? I want to see that one at least, cause I keep hearing about it. And
It's right at the time where he started with her.
Okay, y'all ready?
I want y'all to check this out, man. And I want to check in how y'all get down with this one here. Cause this was, now who is this guy?
But you know what the
Can
issue?
give us some info on-
His name is Kevin Samuels. Apparently, he's a dating consultant. Apparently, he gives people shit in the raw. Like, he's this super truthful dude. Like, I seen a clip of a video where he's telling this dude, asking him, like, do you got a big dick? So you ain't got that much money. You ain't got a big dick. You overweight. How do you expect blah, blah, blah? So apparently he's one of these dudes.
You asked a man that, though?
Yeah. So apparently he's one of these dudes that keep it real with people that call into his show.
All right. Go to the clip, bro.
So, hold on. Don't go to the clip yet. So here's a little background. People are only reacting to the viral clip. But there's a whole 10 minutes that happens before that this man had already made up in his mind that he wasn't going to listen to her and that he was going to talk shit and down her the entire time.
So we going to watch the 10 to 12 minutes?
I mean, if y'all want to.
Put it in. Let's go. Let's see what we got.
This is the 10 minutes prior to the viral clip.
All right. Here we go.
Y'all say till 10, man. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Tell me if you can hear it. No.
It's a lag. It's a lag.
Hold on. You don't consider yourself a high value?
I do, sir. I'm a tech salesman like yourself with aspirations for entrepreneurial work. So
if there's nothing that women can do, then honestly, what you're basically telling them is, you don't need to even worry about what I have to say.
It's a larger dog, and their breed is meant for guarding and protecting. They're very protective of the home and the family.
Okay, so what's your disagreement?
Honestly, I don't have a disagreement. I just came here because I honestly want some advice from you.
It says disagreement there.
Oh, I know, but this is my first time catching you on live. Normally I'm asleep. And
You have a job?
I do. I own a business.
Okay, so I do too. It says disagreement.
And I do have a this is my first time catching you on live. Normally I'm asleep. And
You have a job?
I do. I own a business.
Okay, so I do too. It says disagreement.
And I do have my first time catching you on live. Normally I'm asleep. And
You have a job?
I do. I own a business.
Okay, so I do too.
So if you still here.
Just me, the guy, do I tell him that I'm a business owner? Because my problem is that when I try to date down and the conversation comes up to where I own a business, just me, the guy, he's like, hey, can I come on in on that business? Or can I put some money in a business partner? And I'm not looking for that. And I honestly,
I'm calling him up.
North Carolina.
Talking about because owning a business is no different than having a job. I'm not getting what you're saying. What should you? I'm not understanding why this is an issue. If you're what kind of men are you? What kind of men are you dating?
I try to get guys that not
Just go back in.
You try to do
talk
I
about.
try to get guys that's not on my level of chance.
That's all.
That's making 6 figures a month. You know.
So let me just go ahead and make that.
Yeah, we back. How y'all doing? Apologies about the little technical difficulty, but anyway, let's go over this clip. Pretty much, what was happening?
So from the 10 minutes all the way to the viral clip. So apparently this guy has a show where he is very brutal in the truth and telling people, you know, giving, I guess, critiques about themselves and the dating world and all of this shit. But this is the day that she called in is his disagreement day. But she said she never get a chance to catch him when he does a live show.
Okay.
So she called him on this disagreement day.
Okay.
In the beginning,
Wait, so he do a day that he just disagree with you automatically?
or
like,
no, he does a day where he allows people to call in and disagree with him.
okay.
Okay.
So obviously she's calling in for advice, and that kind of ticks him off. But he says in the beginning of the video, why didn't you go to my website and purchase time for me to give you that advice?
Okay.
But you know, her being who she is, she's gonna try to keep talking and try to get advice out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he could have just simply enforced his rule.
Okay.
Right? But instead, he makes a comment. He's like, oh, this is the problem with you black women. And goes on to say, you know, this is my disagreement day, but you going to come and you going to just try to get advice anyway on this day. You know what? I'm going to use this as a teachable moment.
And he says this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so she goes on, you know, he started asking her about herself. She's 35. She owns her own business. She's owned her own business for the last 9 years, started grossing 6 figures in the last 3 years.
Okay.
Okay. She makes
She has a pet grooming business.
Okay.
She has a 13-year-old and a baby daddy that ain't really around.
Okay.
So
what does that mean? He's still clapping the cheeks?
No, she's saying he's not really active in a shorty life like that. So he pulls that. He said, you 35. You got a child, you're a single mom, and a sketchy baby daddy. Basically saying that those aren't qualifications for men that want 6 figures. So her advice is, I make 6 figures. I want a man that also makes 6 figures.
Okay, that's what she's asking about, how to get a man to make
pretty
6
much
figures. Okay.
So then she one of the questions she asked, which kind of pisses me off, is that she asked him, when do she tell these men that she owns her own business? And he laughs at her and he's like, owning a business is like having a job.
Excuse me.
Salute.
Like, you know, basically saying, you know, owning your own business